Look what just landed on my table. Now, let's get it out of the box. This scooter can very nicely pack, in a box, inside a box, and with a lot of padding. My friend Monkey came and helped me out because I'm not very good at putting things together. Besides the scooter itself, there was inside the box an instruction manual, a few spare parts, and a few tools. All in all, it took us somewhere around 15 to 20 minutes to put it together, and we made sure that all the screws were properly tightened. Alright, I'm back in the office, and it's been somewhere over a month since I got this electric scooter, and I gotta say, I've been having a blast riding this WIDEWHEEL W6. So let's begin with design. This electric scooter have a slightly shorter deck than some of the other off-road e-scooters, and I gotta say, even so it's a bit shorter, it feels very comfortable. I can place both my feet, it's roomy enough, and it's somehow more agile when riding on the city, and especially if you need to transport this scooter, it will fit better in the boot of your car. Another thing about being shorter is I live on an apartment, so if that's the case for you, it's gonna be easier to get it on the elevator and get it through the doors as it's shorter and more maneuverable. The wheels, as to be expected, they're pretty wide, they're 10-inch, and I think that helps a lot with making your ride a lot more comfortable. The stem, as you can appreciate, is pretty wide and very strongly built, so you don't get any wobble from it. We also got a display that will give you some information about your speed, the odometer, the gear you're riding on, and some other information as well. And we also have lights. So the front light is super bright and I love it. Then we also have some lights on the stem and on the rear. A bit of mixed feelings about this. I like the one on the rear, I think it looks kind of cool, but the one on the front, it's just too colorful. It's always blinking in different colors, and I would have wished to have a settings in which I can set it up to, for example, only blue or only red. But other than that, I know that some people love this kind of lights, so just my personal experience, I don't really like them, but you know, I think you might. Now it's time to talk about performance. Now, compared with some of the electric scooters that I reviewed before in this channel that are much bigger and much more expensive, this falls a little bit short. But make no mistake, the WIDEWHEEL W6 still packs a lot of power. We have dual drive, we have turbo, and for someone like me, that's just about enough. I feel that it was very quick, it was climbing hills really fast, there was no problem when it comes to power. I feel like sometimes I will reach top speed, that's something that I don't normally do with some of the previous scooters that I review in this channel because they're way too fast. So with this one I can actually reach top speed for a few seconds, and that's basically what I can do in the place where I live, where there are so many cars and people and hills and turns. So I feel like it's just good enough for me. Mind you, I'm 230 pounds, 5'9", and a pretty big dude, and this carries me around like no problem. It handles really well in the city. A couple of things that I love about it, something that I mentioned before, is the stem. Very stable. So if you get in cracks on the road, bumps, speed bumps, whatever is happen on your way is no problem for the WIDEWHEEL W6. As a matter of fact, I took it off-road and it's also pretty comfortable. I was surprised with how good it handled both in the city and off-road. The other thing that I really like is the hydraulic brakes. Now, it makes a huge difference. I mean, huge. The braking is so intuitive, it's comfortable, and it really brakes. So that makes like a world of a difference, having these brakes, I think the big wheels also making a big difference, and the big stem that is very stable. I think the shorter deck, it can be seen as a disadvantage to some when riding. For me in particular, it's more as an advantage because I tend to ride a lot in the city and makes it a lot more maneuverable. Now, when it comes to riding comfort, it's just very comfortable as to expected with 10-inch wheels. The shocks are pretty good. They're maybe not as good for off-road like some of the other bigger electric scooters, but it handles pretty well. It's not something that you're gonna be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't take this off-road. No, you could and you should. It's a lot of fun and it handles really well. Now, I'm a bit of an intermediate level e-scooter rider. Like I say, I don't often go full speed, and I just started to pull wheelies, stoppies, and some very small slides, like power slides. But I got my friend Monkey, who happened to be more of an expert and very experienced riding this. So I'm gonna let him tell you what he thinks about the WIDEWHEEL W6.
So guys, Monkey here. Me and Gabby took the WIDEWHEEL out, and I really pushed it through the paces, riding it in the city and off-road. And the handling is quite good. The stiff suspension makes it very stable. Handles jumping up and down curves very well over speed bumps comfortably. The short wheelbase makes it very fun to wheelie, and I guess the beefier stem, you would say, makes it very rigid and very comfortable to ride. With some of the other scooters that I ride, you get a little bit of a wobble on the stem when you try to pull wheelies or when you're jumping up and down curves. So it makes it a little bit scary, but this one is very rigid and very comfortable. So I think your novice riders won't have that fear when they're going off-road. Off-road, it handles very well. The short wheelbase makes it very easy to maneuver and position when you're riding off-road. And the stiff suspension handles it all very well. Overall, I think it's a very good scooter, and you would definitely enjoy riding the scooter. The WIDEWHEEL, 2 thumbs up from me. I'm passing it back to Gabby.
Well, that sort of concludes this video. One more thing I would like to add is later on, WIDEWHEEL had sent me the seat. That's something that will cost you somewhere around $100, and to be honest, I wouldn't recommend it. It was really easy to install, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do. You can sit down in the scooter, but it sort of became a lame e-bike. You know, it takes all the fun of riding the scooter, and trust me, this scooter is fun to ride. Like, I wasn't able to pull wheelies on some of my previous e-scooters, but this one, it was very easy. I was sliding, and even so my level is not very high, I still can do some fun stuff. And once you put the seat, well, that's it becomes boring. But I gotta say that if for some reason you have these long commutes where you need to go to work or somewhere and it takes, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 minutes, yeah, having a seat probably gonna be more comfortable. Other than that, yeah, I don't recommend it. And yeah, that finally concludes this review. And I gotta say, I highly recommend this scooter. I love it. I'm having a lot of fun. It's very maneuverable, easy to put in your home, doesn't take too much space because of the shorter deck. So yeah, for the price, it's pretty damn good. If you wanna buy it, there is gonna be a link in the description down below. And if you buy it, I would really appreciate you use my affiliate link. You will help this channel grow. And if you don't buy it and you enjoy this review, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and I'll catch you up on the next video.